folks, welcome back. So this particular Lenormand was one that I had done for Foodie Beauty, Chantal Marie. But this was back in October 25th. It's been a little while. I'll put up a picture of the spread that I took a while back. Spirit asked me to hang out with this reading before I put this out there. But we both thought that it was important to put this out there. Unfortunately, I am sending out a warning. I wish I were sending out encouragement of any kind. But when I looked at this spread, I realized that Chantal is in some degree of danger with this relationship with, I'm just going to call him Nader. Okay, that's probably not how you pronounce that name. And I do want to say that this reading is allegedly for entertainment purposes only. I am not a replacement for good therapy with a licensed therapist. I am not a replacement for law enforcement, for an attorney, for anything like that. I consider myself to be a spiritual advisor in training, and this is definitely one of the sadder readings that I've done so far. I haven't been doing this for years and years and years. However, this is one of the first readings where Spirit gave me a really, really plain warning for somebody's life. There is the risk, possibly, that Chantal could lose her life as a result of this relationship, and I'll get into specifics in just a second. The way Lenormand spreads work is that we look at an issue, and for this spread back in October 25th, even though I'm filming this spread quite a while later, this is the outcome. I asked about the Chantal's outcome with Nader. And I should note that Nader appears in her cards of fate. I'm seeing sexual secrets behind Nader. I don't believe that Chantal knows everything, but I absolutely see Nader being a deeply aggressive, domineering individual here. Chantal is not going to know a lot about Nader for a long time. And towards the end, when things are getting really, really bad, I suspect that more of those secrets are going to come to light. So I saw her cards of fate back in October 25th, but this is what made me yell when I saw this. I've never yelled like this. I've never yelled like this for other people's spreads. Most YouTubers that I've done on here, they're pretty average. They've got these fights between money and spirituality, and they've got their love readings. This doesn't even get up to Chris Chan's level, and that's saying a lot for me personally. This diagonal right here is what made me yell. You do not need to be an experienced reader at all to see that the scythe appears between this is Chantal and this is Nader. And I saw this immediately as Spirit indicating that there is a very real risk that Chantal could lose her life as a result of this relationship. This particular diagonal is going out towards the future, which is what made me just kind of like freak out for a while. Spirit and I needed to talk about this. These kinds of influences will be coming in from the past, feeding into Nader. We will get into that. This is what is of deep concern for me right now. There is still the smallest possibility that I should say that I asked Spirit, is there any chance that that an earth angel could come through and save Chantal somehow, like a hotter boy or something like that, right? And Spirit said it's very unlikely. I don't know how to say this, but there is the risk of this of the domestic violence in this situation escalating to an incredible point. We've already seen how Nader feels free to hit Chantal on stream while Chantal is streaming, and I don't think that it is out of the realm of possibility at all that it would escalate to this point. That wasn't all that I saw in this diagonal. I saw this tree, and it took a bit for me to realize that that tree may be indicating that Nader is going to do his best to allegedly, possibly, conceal Chantal's remains if he takes her life, possibly. That is the risk here. The tree is about roots and things being deeply buried, and I'll note that this is where this diagonal stops. We will talk about the future. I do see a lot of deception and how this is going to be a very long journey. I don't know how soon Chantal's remains would be found if indeed indeed her life were taken, if indeed she were buried. I will still hold out some degree of hope that this isn't going to come true. I would be happy if this reading did not come true. I don't know how else. I'm sure that as we go on with this reading, that we'll take a look at more why it's going to head this direction, because again, we do have this material feeding into why Nadir behaves the way he does. This is possibly a course of action that Spirit is indicating is very likely to happen if Chantal sticks around. When we talk about what's making this happen, there's something about money and about Nadir using money to move things along, right? And this is, to me, YouTube. In this case, this would be social situations, like parties, not necessarily family, friends, definitely, but in this case, this would be about YouTube and about Chantal's members, right? I believe it's called members. Excuse me. That would be about this, folks. And it's just going to be an endless cycle. We're already seeing that cycle, playing out to a certain degree here in the present, right? I don't know when they're actually going to decide that marriage is something that they want to try. But I do see this happening. For a while, I felt like Spirit was saying only do this reading after they have actually gotten married legally, right? I still feel like Spirit is indicating that these folks are going to legally get married, and that Nader's going to use that to his benefit. I'm not at all surprised to see money being one of the big motivators, unfortunately, behind this. It's possible that he will be playing out a scenario on YouTube that he is repeating from his past before anyone knew who he was, right? And possibly before he came to Canada. I'm not in Canada. I've never been to Canada. Before he immigrated to Canada is what I should say. Okay, we have influences. This is a lot. It's a heavy reading. It's a sad reading. This isn't what I wanted. I was asking for even an earth angel, and Spirit was saying that's very unlikely. Yeah, this is interesting. I'm seeing his family back home as being highly successful and publicly so. This is the thing, is like, oh, okay, now Spirit's saying family didn't exactly want him. Family kind of pushed him out. Okay. Spirit is saying that he may have gotten pushed out of family financial good graces. And that's part of why Nader is so focused on money hungry, right? I'm going to use money as a whip to keep this YouTube train going along, right? This gravy train, so to speak. But I saw his family as being quite publicly successful, might even be lower levels of government, allegedly, okay? And I feel like he got pushed out, kicked out. This was not the life he was supposed to lead, is what Spirit is saying. Not by a long shot, is what Spirit is saying. When we take a look at the secrets, this could have been about education and any other spread. In this case, it is about secrets, financial secrets, right? This will be about contracts. It's very possible that Nader has financial contracts, secret financial contracts, that Chantal has no idea about. And he has made a choice to isolate these secrets as hard as possible. He has worked hard to store these away. I'm picturing these, if you want to call a book a secret, well, I want you to picture a library full of books, right? A library full of secrets hidden far away in a tower in the sky. And he has worked very hard. And to be honest, having grown up in a family that is quite successful, it would make sense that he would have the knowledge on how to create some secret compartments with money for himself. So we take a look at the heart of the situation. What is going on with this outcome? What is fueling this possible, very real risk? Is that there will be some kind of successful contract, right? There will be a message saying something about your finances, right? And Chantal may not know about this. This might be something that is communicated to Nadir only. And it kicks off something that he says, okay, I can now make a public-facing choice. The public is going to, somebody's going to see, of course, that Chantal, who's already been decently established on YouTube for a while, they're going to see that she's gone. Now, this is interesting. I'm getting a little bit of a sensation that some people will be encouraging this choice, because I see something about the community, the YouTube community, the public community being successful. Now, this won't be Chantal's community necessarily. This will be Nadir's community. Something that they're doing with this outcome will be successful, and it will be exposed. And Spirit's saying, yes, definitely. Karmic debt is also a phrase that has popped into my head. Okay. So this won't come out of nowhere. If it happens, I will continue to pray that it doesn't. This will happen partly because there are some secrets that Nadir just does not want revealed, both sexual, both financial. He has buried the heck out of these things. So secrets, there are secrets underneath his secrets. We thought that Chantal lied to us, and she does, but Nadir is far more experienced than she is at lying. Spirit is saying that there is something genuinely wrong with this man. Spirit is asking me to say the word demonic in association with this man. Okay, so very permanent, deeply buried secrets. But people are talking about it. People were talking about it in the past, before Nadir immigrated, quite possibly, right? And especially after he immigrated, after he left. I see people talking about this like crazy. So they're not total secrets. They're just buried from us. They're just buried from the people that he's connected to in Canada. I want to look at the top row for just a second. So this outcome, we're talking about this outcome in total. What will be leading up to this? We're going to consider this area the past, present leading up to this outcome, and this will be more towards the future. What will be leading up to this is just a constant cycle, a constant ring of confusion and isolation. This is a love that you do not want. In lots of other spreads, this would be about genuine compassion, genuine love, family, friends, romantic, it doesn't matter. In this case, this is opening us up to, look, a snake. Why would we want a love that opens us up to a snake? And this is a snake that hides under the cover of night. This is an emotional snake in the sense that this is a two-faced kind of situation, something that will bite Chantal when she is least expecting it, right? Let's think about how, well, I live in Texas, and something that we have to contend with is the eastern diamondback rattlesnake, right? And for a lot of folks, we're taught to be situationally aware and to look out for these snakes because we can accidentally surprise a snake into striking us. Well, in this case, I want you to think of a snake that has a brain and has malice, right? And that's what we're going for here. A malicious, very intelligent snake that is using love and affection to lock Chantal up into a tower and hide her, right? A tower up in the clouds and to keep her there forever. I do again see marriage here. So I wonder if the wedding won't be relatively soon. Spirit is nodding her head. It's possible that we might be surprised with this wedding. Like they'll just elope and then Chantal will say, "Hey guys, we're married." And that'll be it, right? And then this will set into motion. I'm praying that it doesn't. When I look at child, this is not about children. Spirit says absolutely not, and thank goodness that children won't be a part of this, but this is naivete, and this is about a poisonous kind of naivete. This is willful naivete. I choose not to see this, even when the community is kind of saying, do you see the destruction? The community is part of the destruction, I should point out, and will be well into the future. The community is going to be part of this destruction. The community is going to be part of this naivete that leads into this awful situation, which is going to be a huge burden. This is more about Chantal. This row right here is more about Chantal. I've talked before about the dead albatross around somebody's neck. Chantal's willingness to be naive, to be childish even, when it comes to this relationship, is what is ultimately going to be a huge dead albatross around her neck, and what may ultimately, allegedly, this is where she could lose her life, right? People have seen, she's had friends who have said that Chantal is not street smart, and that she's messing around with people who are very street smart, who have at least learned to be incredible liars. If this is an individual whose wealthy family said, we don't want to touch you anymore, go away, get out of our country, how could Chantal stand a chance? Seriously. Okay, we're taking a look at the second row. I thought it was important to look at this crossway. Spirit said, yes, indeed, it was important. The public is going to continually choose to fuel this chat messages. What popped into my head is chat messages. They're going to enable and encourage this kind of behavior. When I see this kind of birds, bouquet, rioter, to me that is like chat messages during a stream. Spirit is nodding her head. They're going to encourage this, and it's been this way for a very long time. The past is repeating itself into the future in this case. It's like an Ouroboros, right? That snake that eats its tail. Where does it end? Where does it start? So, Chantal, in the future, will see that this is a journey that she did not want to take. She's going to cry behind the scenes. She may cry behind the scenes, is what I should say. She may cry behind the scenes a lot. She will definitely be crying on camera. But this says that this is a ship that once she's gotten onto this ship, she may not be getting off, right? It is unlikely that once she gets on, that she will get off. That cross is something that a person must pick up and bear. And I'm thinking of Chantal. I'm picturing her having this cross, walking it up into this ship, and the ship sails away and it's not coming back, right? Because again, this is where it ends. I don't know that, like, this might be like the distant past. I don't know how much attention will be on her if this happens. But she's going to see that it's too late. This is what makes me horribly sad. Her want for fame, her want for attention is ultimately what has destroyed what through this whole thing. And she might be self-aware enough to see that towards the end. I still want a different outcome for her. I know that she is a toxic individual. I know that she is. I still want a different outcome for her. I wish that this Chantal today could put the brakes somehow on this. So this burden is going to be quite successful because of this contract, because of this deeply abusive contract. It may be that Nadir signed something that Chantal has to carry out. It becomes her burden. And it becomes her burden. It looks like it will start relatively soon after the marriage. And it will just go on and take her to her ship. And she'll be taking this lightheartedly at the very beginning. And then towards the end, this is going to be horribly heavy for her. It doesn't surprise me that there is selfishness. And this is not the positive version. Like, on rare occasions, this particular, the fox can be positive. It can be about career. It can be about taking care of yourself first at the expense of everybody else, right? Then there's the selfish version of this. And this is about difficulties being created because of selfishness at the very, very beginning of this whole outcome. These are going to be deeply, money's going to hide this, right? Money's going to hide these difficulties. They may be taking vacations. They may be buying nice things. And it is all going to completely cover up. Well, completely. It is mostly going to cover up people who notice what's going on, who know what's going on, who already know who know Chantal and Nadir, will be able to see what's going on. But money's going to be able to cover a lot of this stuff up about what's going on behind the scenes. Money's going to buy closed doors for them. It's going to buy them some degree of privacy, but this privacy is exactly what may lead to this awful situation right here. And they're still going to be, it feels like, they're going to be chasing fame and attention up until the very, very end. These are people who hide stuff at all costs. Nadir starts this tradition of hiding stuff at all costs. And Chantal just goes with it. Because she, when I think of mice, I think of something being eaten away gradually over time. And this would be her emotional defenses, right? Oh my God. Spirit, do you want me to cover more? What would you like me to cover, Spirit? Let's look. Bear. Okay. Well, this is what's feeding in. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. What's going on? There's something about this. There's something about the home that's going to be underneath this contract, right? So it'll be like Chantal can't even really escape at home. I'm praying that the cats won't be there, but I'm very afraid that the cats will be there. And the other thing is, I'm afraid that the cats will be part of this. That's what I was most like. I don't want to think about pets being part of a violent situation. That will make me cry. That will make me cry. Yeah. Something about this contract, something about these messages is going to make it so that Chantal isn't even safe in the home that she shares with Nader. And this is going to happen quickly. After they get married, this is going to set in immediately. And I get the feeling that Chantal's going to go with this because it's going to be part of their whole submissive dominant thing. Dominant. See? And can I just say, this is not healthy BDSM. In case that was a question in anyone's mind, what Nadir and Chantal is not healthy BDSM, even a little bit, right? These aren't healthy. Can I just say that you need to be a healthy person in order to have healthy BDSM play? These aren't healthy people. They should, like, oh my God, they're giving BDSM like good, quality, healthy BDSM between, well, good, wonderful people. They're giving it a horrible name. I'm sorry. What else, Spirit? This? Secrets. So again, these secrets of this home, this is leading into the future. This is alongside these four right here. Oh my goodness. There's almost nothing good in this particular diagonal going into the future. Chantal's going to want to talk about this. This is going to be tremendously destructive on her. But she's going to feel like, I can't get out because I've already lied, and you folks wouldn't care anyway. Effectively, you people wouldn't care anyway. It feels like towards the end, Chantal's going to see that there's nothing that she can do, and she's going to stop fighting. I'm looking at the mouse, and you know what? Snakes eat mice, you know? I think that Chantal's going to see, again, that this is going to end badly for her. And she's not going to be able to get out. Again, this row is about her not necessarily being able to get out. Spirit is saying, that's enough. Thank you so much for Spirit for protecting me through this reading. I still hope for the very best, very highest quality outcome for Chantal in spite of what she's done. Unfortunately, I feel like she's going to have to transition into the next life in order for her to begin relieving her karmic debt. She has been willfully naive because she wanted what she wanted. And in the next life, she will have a chance to work on that karmic debt. And I wish her all the best in that next life. And I still wish her all the best in this life too. Nadir will have a tremendous karmic debt. And he already does, without carrying any of this out. Without any of this happening. He already has a tremendous karmic debt, and he will incur a larger karmic debt, of course, if this goes through. And I still wish him a wonderful journey on his way to godhood. We are all on our way to godhood, and some of us have to, we have to go through some lives where we do some awful things that are like, yeah. I wish you folks your best day possible. I hope that life treats you better than Chantal has invited life to treat her. And yeah, have a good day, folks.